Anywhere you go, give it all. Anywhere you say, anywhere.
We are back at New York Fashion Week. We are back in New York Fashion Week. We're back in New York Fashion Week. I'm so grateful. I'm so humbled. If you happen to be new here, I'm your girl Jordan Blackwell, former sustainable materials engineer turned lifestyle content creator, helping you find what's gonna feel good. And this journey really started with improving my style because that always made me feel like I didn't feel good when I couldn't figure out how to dress myself, couldn't figure out what I liked, what I didn't like. And so that's led me here to New York Fashion Week again, like literally the next season with Runway 7. And I'm so grateful. There's so many dope shows that I'm going to be taking you to. I'm right in Soho, and there's already a lot of sample sales I'm seeing, so we might try and snag some shopping. Was really hoping to be with my bestie Eden, but that is okay. And honestly, the shenanigans started last night. Like, we're going to get into it in a second. But because I am running late for today's show, it is gloomy outside. I wanted to just share really quickly a couple of things. Please do not forget these before you head to New York Fashion Week. And then also get into the look really quick. So one, do not forget ibuprofen. Okay, look, regardless of whether it's for your feet or for your head, like please bring ibuprofen. I'm so glad I did. I got here with like a killer headache and it almost made me miss an amazing opportunity last night. But thankfully I reminded myself like to pack quite a few so I would be up for almost anything, and it just turned out to be the right decision. Don't forget some emergency, okay, like this. Because y'all, when I tell you the people was coughing on this plane trying to get me sick, and again, you don't want to get here, have all these amazing events planned, and then be sick. You just don't. You just don't. Then I feel like the other thing you really just need to have is just a little bit of laid backness, a little bit of like, I'm going to be open to the experiences here because if I hadn't have been, I literally would have missed out on the dopest thing last night. So with that, we're gonna run the clip about last night. Wilfrey invited me to this amazing kickoff party with the new lab where I met some really amazing people. So run the tape, run the tape. Y'all, like, and the cool thing about this is I'm so glad that I just learned to have conversations with people and really be more focused on having genuine connections rather than like, I need to be sitting next to such and such, or I need to be, you know what I mean? Like, yes, I really want to run into a lot of my idols, right? Like, I know Monroe is skipping out this year, but I know Janae Naylor will be here. I know Influencing in Color will be here. And it would be great to, like, obviously meet them. But I also want to meet genuine people, and sometimes that means meeting people that don't even look like us, right? And so I really met some really dope stylists last night, of course, on top of Wilfrey, and thanks to Wilfrey, like, and that's who I met at the last show last season. Like, he's the reason I even got to meet these other people because we just kicked it off. We both got booted from our original seats and we ended up sitting next to each other, and we were just giggling the whole time. Like, him and his partner and I were just laughing and having good conversation, and we just stayed in touch. And now we're like, he invited me back and I got to meet some of the coolest people, and they don't look like me. And I think that's one big thing that can be hard in our industry. Like, I, of course, want to meet other Black creatives, but I also want to meet creatives in general, regardless of what they look like. And that has just been the reason I think that I'm back here, you know, as a small creator and getting some amazing, amazing opportunities. So I'm so grateful for y'all, of course, and of course, like for that, because it can be scary. Like the stylist I met, he literally was like, I never really talk to anybody. I kind of sit on the wall. And I was like, oh, like if I'm bothering you, please, like just push me away. Like I didn't even know like he was as big as he was when I was standing next to him. Like I genuinely just was like, you look uncomfortable. Wilfrey introduced us. Like tell me, you know, just let me get to know you. He just turned out to be so fun, and the whole event turned out to be really fun. I even met some girls in marketing for Neiman and Marcus as well, like who had come from Chicago. So it's like, again, there's so many cool opportunities, even if you don't go to the big shows. And that's the other reason I really like kind of attending in this way and showing this way, because yeah, of course we want to be at like Brandon Maxwell. Yeah, of course I want to be at Sergio Hudson, but you can really still meet so many amazing people at the smaller shows. And it also doesn't take away that like these designers I am going to see like today, they may not be the big name brand designers y'all know, but they're up and coming and they've worked really hard on these pieces. They've worked really hard on their collections and to get themselves out there. And we all have to start somewhere. So I think it's so cool to be able to be like, I'm here where some of these people are starting off and getting to meet these people kind of on the ground level, you know what I mean? And I think that's something invaluable that a lot of us, we try and skip past. Again, like yes, I do also want to be invited to the bigger shows, but I also don't ever want to get to a point where I'm like, I'm too good to like attend this such, like I never want to get to that point, right? And with that in mind, let's get into the fit for today's show, okay? Because we have a couple of different shows, and I like the way that Runway 7 does it, because it's not just one designer and one collection. They give you a couple of collections. So here's who I am going to see today. And for the outfit, it is gloomy. It is raining in January. In January. Like I had checked the stats and the weather a couple times. Sorry, y'all. Literally, I have this amazing view outside and I'm seeing some of the greatest outfits and the greatest coats right now. And I'm like, mistakes. I needed a bigger suitcase because the coat game out here alone. But getting into the fit, I started with this amazing ASOS top. I know that I originally thought I was going to pair this with the Devin Windsor skirt if you watched the Prep With Me video. But I decided with the rain and things like that, because I knew it might rain or snow today, I decided to pair it with this skirt from Topshop. Originally, the Vici blazer you saw me wear last night, that was going to go with this skirt. But once I kind of put it all together, this is sitting so much better for me. And then also because of the rain, I swapped out the Dolce Vita boots for these ASOS boots. They're just very easy, very casual. Because again, it's rainy. It's a little bit slippery out there too. So I didn't want to wear the suede shoes and risk them getting stained. They're new. I love them. I have not gotten a chance to spray them down with the spray that I trust yet. And I'm just not taking that risk. I'm going to be so honest. I'm not taking that risk. Like I can put on a fly look without those boots. So pairing it, which I feel like is the piece de resistance with the Fashion Nova jacket. I literally wore this on the plane here, got complimented so much. I was like, okay, obviously I need to go ahead and run this back in an outfit while I'm here. And this worked out so well, right? Like very cozy, very warm, because again, it's cold, it's winter. And I think that was the hardest part, was like, I know I need outerwear. I know I need to look good, but I'm not trying to bring 3 suitcases. I literally just wanted to bring my big check bag and then 1 duffel bag. I was not trying to bring 3 suitcases. Like, maybe next season, but because again I'm back to being alone, I thought that again I was going to have Eden here with me to help out. That would have made me a little more comfortable to bring a lot more, but it's just me, y'all, so I have to keep it manageable. I have to keep it bite-sized. Then of course Brandon Blackwood on the accessories, and y'all saw these new earrings come in from Oma, the label. I'm obsessed. They're so good. The quality is amazing. And I've also been really loving just like ear cuffs. I want to expand my ear cuff collection. These are from Fashion Nova. They are not comfortable. I would just be real honest. These ones are not comfortable. So that's the other reason I want to invest in some better ear cuffs, because I do love these and want to wear them all day, but they just are not made well for my ears, that they're really pinching. So I'm glad I just have the one set of shows, because y'all, I would be miserable wearing these all day. And then when it comes to content, y'all, like I film really quickly as I'm getting ready, and then I make sure to just snap a couple pictures in the hotel. That's another trick I would suggest if you're a small creator, and that's why I usually invest in the hotel I'm going to stay at, because at the very least, if the weather does suck, you've chosen a venue where you have good inside locations to snap your fits and look really good. Even looking at a lot of my favorite creators and like the photos that they share, they're not all in the crowds and around people. Like they have some cute nighttime shoots, they're by obscure buildings. So don't feel like pressured to go and like have to get in the street out there photos. And then also take advantage when you are at these events if you see a photographer to ask them to take a quick photo. Like the guy from last night was so generous and got me the photos in like literally under 5 hours. Like we were there till midnight and then I got the Dropbox with the photos at like 5 a.m. So if you see a photographer, like it's okay to say, hey, do you mind snapping a quick picture? They can say yes, they can say no, and then you exchange contacts to get that. So just something to consider if you are out here by yourself trying to figure out how you gonna get all the content, because girl, the rain put a damper on today, but I think it's gonna be sunny tomorrow. So my goal is to get up early. I'm not excited about this, but like around 8 and try and snap 2 of the outfits. That way I have them like get some outside lifestyle shots and not just in the show shots. We have 2 rounds of shows on Friday and then 2 rounds of shows on Saturday. So it's gonna be, y'all, I'm just having a moment. Like I'm just so grateful, and I'm just, even though this was like overwhelming and stressful to get here, I just being here again, I'm just reminded like this is why we do it. Like this was worth it. So let me get my life together, grab my lift, because I thought I had time to take the subway, but I don't think I do. So we're not going to risk that right now. But we're going to make an attempt hopefully tomorrow. I don't know, I'm mixed. Like, after seeing so many scary subway stories, what are your thoughts? I know, like, you can't live your life in fear, but I also, again, thought I would have Eden so that way we could ride the subway together because power in numbers. And I know I'm probably just being scary because I'm not from here. You know what I mean? Because in other countries, the public transportation, I've had no problems. But just seeing so many stories of like, this man tried to stab me and like that kind of stuff, I'm just so wary about subway life. So yeah. So let me get my last sip of coffee and we are going to go to the first round of shows with Runway 7. It is almost 7, y'all. It was such an interesting experience in a great way, honestly. I will say, even though there was a lot of chaos around the show, especially, which I totally get, but can be frustrating. Like, you have young designers, you have up and coming designers, so of course you want all the seats full, you want as much media, you want as much coverage, but then sometimes what happens is just chaos, right? Like, it's not as planned out and not as, you know what I mean? And for me, what I've really learned is I really like seeing the new designers. I love seeing new pieces, and I also love the networking around these events. And this, compared to last season, just from first day, was way more worthwhile, I would say, in my opinion. Like, I loved seeing some of the designers from last year, but when I tell you, just the experience I had today, like I met Gabrielle today while we were just waiting in line for the show, and they were running behind because like the 11 a.m. show for whatever reason got pushed, and so they were trying to run the 11 a.m. with the 1 p.m. and like it was just very chaotic. So we were just chopping it up in line, just having a good time, like taking each other's photos and just having a good time. Like, she's from Arizona, starting out in her journey as well, and her mom are here having so much fun. It's the cutest thing. I literally was like, you're making me miss me and my mom trips. Like, oh my goodness. She was so sweet and they were so sweet. Like, I basically got adopted. And so we were just taking our pictures, and just with all of the chaos, I'm gonna call it, with them trying to get everything organized. We just ended up not getting our seats, and it happens. Like, again, I have a couple of days of shows, so I'm not really pressed. As long as I can see the designers, like, that's really what I came to see, if I'm honest. Like, whether or not I'm seen sitting up close, like, it's nice to get a good view, but I can see, I have eyes as long as I can see the pieces. So for me, like, it was so great to meet her and meet some photographers. And then afterwards, y'all, like, when I tell you, I've never felt cooler a day in my life, because last season, y'all know I went with Fro. And so it was cool and it was nice, but it just wasn't as well publicized as this was. So, like, once we got outside, like, a lot of different photographers were just like, let me take your picture. Can I take your picture? Like, I think I got 50 followers alone just from, like, my outfit and the photographers taking photos and sharing the photos with me. Like, I was so nervous about getting my own content, y'all know, like, I was terrified. And then the universe was like, girl, we have got you. And it was like, thanks to, you know, Gabrielle being cool and just, like, the people outside being cool, we were all just kind of talking, and the one girl's like, oh, I'd like to take your photos. And next thing it was like, all these photographers were looking for people who were like trying to look for people to take photos of. So, like, I was just like, it's my time. Like, I feel I've never felt so cool in my life. I was like, y'all really want to take photos of, like, me in this fit that I overthought like a billion times? Like, it was, for that alone, so cool and so fun. And I helped Gabrielle get some of her behind the scenes. She got some of my behind the scenes. And then we all went to dinner together. Like, we decided to just walk around because the venue is right down the street from Times Square. So we were just right in the heart of Times Square, taking it all in. And then we decided it would be easier just to grab a lift from further down. So as we were walking, like, back towards Soho, we just stumbled across this amazing Jamaican place called Jasmine's. So good. So good, y'all. And y'all know, after coming off my trip to Jamaica, I have been craving good Jamaican food and have not really found. I saw you drop some Rex. I just haven't gotten time to try them in Detroit, but this hit the spot. And I'm just feeling, just, again, so grateful. From Wilfrey inviting me yesterday to the really dope event to, like, how today turned out and getting some good content. It does make me excited for tomorrow. Like, I'm not as nervous again. Like, I know I've got 4 or 5 different shows still left, and I've got all the seats, so I will be able to sit and have that experience similar to last season. But again, for me, like, I really love seeing some of the designers. Like, my favorite one, because they ended up running the 11 at 1, so all the ones I showed you earlier, we didn't see it all. But I really, really loved, hold on, I want to make sure I say this, Norand Claire, y'all. The fits, her pieces, fire. That collection, fire. Like, I would have never even heard of her if I had just gone to Bronx and Bancos or gone to Coach, you know what I mean? So, like, I really found a couple. I'm trying to think of the other designer that I really, really liked as well. I'll make sure to share them below because the piece is just so good. And the styling was really, really good too. So I'm really excited for tomorrow's shows because there's even more streetwear. And then because of just how much time today ended up taking, I didn't get to check out any of the pop-up sales and things that I wanted to. So I'm deciding Saturday how I want to play it because I do have a evening gowns show at 1 p.m. And I might just skip that and go straight into the Mount Sinai, like, actual runway event that I was invited for and just take some time maybe shopping around. There's some dope pop-ups that I saw, like, for Doc Martens and a couple of other things that are free that you can obviously just go in and check out. So I feel like I might want to see where those are at. I'm going to spend some time tonight looking at that because that's the other reason I only wanted one show today, was I really wanted to get a feel for how it was going to be run. And then I also didn't want to overwhelm myself because my video went up without a thumbnail. For any of y'all who saw that, you probably clocked it like, ooh, Jordan, you definitely enjoying yourself because you just let that fly. So I want to make sure I have those ducks in a row. I might do a little bit of research for coffee spots tomorrow because the first show's at 11. So that is a wrap on our official first day of New York Fashion Week. I am going to chill. I have some leftover plantain to enjoy. And I think I'm going to put on, I don't know, I'm kind of in my comfort show era because they don't actually have TV. And usually, y'all know, I would watch diners, drive-ins, and dives. Like, I love the Food Network when I'm on vacation and in the hotels. Like, that's the only time I get to watch those shows. So unfortunately, I just have Netflix. And if I start a new show, I'm going to stay up late. And I really do want to be rested because tomorrow is going to be, like, the busier day just trying to decide how I want to play that. So let's get some sleep, poo, and be refreshed. And then we're probably going to meet at breakfast in the morning. Sound good? All right. Well rested and ready for day 2, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. So there are 3 shows today. I have 11 a.m., which is the ready to wear, the 1 p.m., which is the streetwear, and then another streetwear at 5 p.m. I'm really excited because Gabrielle is actually gonna be able to join me for some of the shows today, and I'm meeting up with Mateo, who's gonna help me shoot some fits. So I'm perplexed. I'm perplexed because I have 2 outfits I kind of really want to get off. But my thought is I'm going to go with the least comfortable outfit first, just from the shoes perspective, y'all, because I just know these shoes are not meant for all day standing, but the fit looks so good. Let me run y'all through it because I have this dress from H&M. So good, so easy. It is very sunny today and it is going to be in the 40s. Don't worry, we're layering because I have a romper underneath, okay? We're not going to be out here just cold, although I do need some lotion now that I'm looking at myself. Then the semi-London boots, right? Running back the fit you saw in the prep now. The changes that we made that I think are really going to give what they need to give, which is why I want to go ahead and do this fit first. The Vici coat. The Vici collection coat, y'all, I got this in a size up specifically to have this oversized fit, but it still cinches in at the waist, so I'm going to be nice and warm and covered, but it's not too long. It's not too long that it's going to drag on the ground because I'm not trying to do all that. I'm not. Then the other thing that I'm really loving, this Trapper Keeper hat I got from Urban Outfitters a couple of years ago, but I safety pinned up the little balls on the side to make it look a little bit more unique. I really love this, and I'm gonna pair it with the Brahmin bag, right? Giving that pop of red, and plus to carry all of my stuff much better than last time because dear God, the 2 bags yesterday, like it was smart, but it just, again, when you're creating your own content, it's like you don't want to just use your iPhone, you like using your nicer equipment. Carrying all of that around is a lot, so you do have to like have a not nice bag, but there were so many, like I said, amazing people, so helpful. I have so many dope photographers flooding my inbox from photos alone from yesterday. Here are just a couple. If you have not caught up with the feed on Instagram, a time is gonna be had, so I definitely need breakfast. That is the first thing. And I also think what I might try and do is switch into, this is where I messed up, y'all, because I had my second outfit for the day on already just to try it out, and I should have went outside and just shot some pictures in it really quick, like 1 or 2 shots just to have it, and then changed into this one because, like I said, I know once I get there, Mateo's gonna hook me up and get a couple, Gabrielle will hook me up and get a couple, so I will have some decent photos. But the other fit, oh y'all, this is a glimpse. This is a glimpse just in case I don't get to actually wear it in real life because the fit I have for tomorrow is so good, and I'm just gonna keep that on all day because the other thing, unless these brands are dressing you, y'all, do not feel pressured to change your outfit 20 different times, especially if you're not close to the venues. Like last time, I made sure my hotel was really close to where the venues were so I could walk back, I could change, but even that was a lot, like especially just the walking, the weather, all of that. Like it's very much going to give a marathon. So if you can just pick a fit that you really like, it's going to be good all day. I don't think that you need 20 different outfit changes. I think that started obviously when the brand started working with influencers and to obviously show off the fits. But I feel like if I'm thinking about, and I could be wrong, I want some editors and some stylists and people who have been attending kind of pre-influencer era, but through the influencer era, I'd love for you to chime in because my thought is that like y'all probably had one fit throughout the day and they're definitely the ones who are in the smart outfits with the comfortable shoes, in the smart outfits wearing like actual sneakers or loafers, like have thought through that they are going to be on their feet all day because sometimes you could stand in that line for hours until the shows get moving and grooving. So just some words from the wise as round 2 happens. Like last time I definitely did feel pressure to do a few more fits, but I did make sure I had options more so in case I got invited to events in the evening. Like that's the other reason I chose to have my events end around 5 because then I could actually rest and get up the next day. So that way, like tomorrow, my first show isn't until 1. So that way I can be done around 6, 7 tonight, grab some food, rest. And then whatever I don't shoot, and I do have to remind myself now that I've said it out loud, that I can shoot quite a few things tomorrow morning, like whatever I feel like didn't get captured well today. So that actually will be my strategy. I'm not going to stress right now because I need a real breakfast after how yesterday went. I need to make sure I have a real breakfast. So I'm going to sort out a couple of options for that and make it make sense. So let's get going for day 2 of New York Fashion Week with Runway 7. I'm so excited, y'all, like so excited. Now that I know the game plan and now I know to make sure to go straight to my seat, I'm good. I'm excited. Let's do it. Camera, I'm around the stage. Y'all already know. If you know me, you knew this cookie was coming. Like the real ones who tune into the channel know that's all JP right there. Back in the room, we had a full day and it was so good. So y'all know I met Gabrielle yesterday and I figured with my extra ticket I didn't want it to go to waste, so I just let her tag along if she had some time, and she joined me and it was so good. Like we just bonded. It was really fun in the shows, y'all. Some of the designers, again, like I feel like that's why this is also equally fun. Like, do not get discouraged if you're not getting invited to the big shows or the big events. Like, there's just literally so much in the people that we are meeting. Like, literally, the celebrity stylists from Britain and London. Like, we're meeting people who put on their own fashion shows in LA and usually during the fashion weeks that are like, you have good vibes. Like, the just general amount of like networking. I think the other thing I want you to keep in mind, and I feel like, again, like, this is, I hope I'm giving you a different side of New York Fashion Week. Like, yes, the glam, the glitz, and all that stuff is so fun, but like, it's more than just like making sure you're getting the selfie and getting the photo. Like, network, please network. Like, you would be so surprised the people that are sitting next to you are in the same rooms as you, even at shows like this. Like, one of the coolest people I met, like, she's another celebrity stylist and she's planning a show in like September, and she's like, baby girl, I'ma DM you, like, the biggest advice she said is like a lot of designers actually like to see this, like see that you're, I don't want to say like humble in a bad way, but just that you're open-minded. Like, you're not going to look down on your nose, because like a lot of designers started there. Like, they started in these underground circuits at these underground shows, just again known by nobody, until just like the right person, the right magazine, or the right publication picked them up and really gave them that platform to showcase like their amazing pieces and their designs. And I love that. I feel like that's a lot of the stories that I kept hearing, and it was just like, yes, so like, you just keep doing what you're doing and you're doing amazing. And again, just the energy that you give off, like, it's just been always reaffirming. I think like it can feel so I don't want to say alienating, but especially if you're a Midwest girly or you're just somewhere where fashion is not big and there's not a big community for it, it can feel like you just are in the void kind of by yourself. And so I feel like if you ever do get the chance to come to New York, even if you aren't invited to shows, just to be around the energy around Fashion Week, I think that's really going to change your perspective about how you want to go about it and all the opportunities that you really can get staying consistent and being in the industry. So that was just really, really dope. Like, again, there was just so many cool designers, and looking at the drape work and like hearing different stylist perspective on the shows and on the pieces and what they are looking for has been, again, just like noted, like things and information that I can share with you guys as I like make better videos and help us be, again, like more informed just as consumers and things like that. So it was good. And I even met up with Mateo, and he got these crazy shots and this footage down in Times Square for me. So it was so nice. And we're gonna try and meet up tomorrow because, if I'm honest, today was a lot. Like, out from 10, I'm just now getting back. It is 8. It is 8. So they packed a lot of shows, and I really thought I was going to have some time between the 1 p.m. between the 1 p.m. and the 5 p.m. But again, they were delayed. So we got out of the 1 p.m. around like 3-ish. And then the 5 p.m. like started almost on time. So it's like I'm just now getting to eat. Just now getting to like have more water. So keep that in mind too. Like, that's the other reason you don't want to stack yourself too much. Like, go to as much as you have energy for, but like also don't feel like you have to overdo it. Like, just make sure that you're talking to people and you're just, I don't know, I'm having a great time. I feel like, again, I'm just meeting the right people. I'm in the rooms I need to be in, and it's just really, it just keeps solidifying a lot for me. So I have some leftovers from Jasmine's, the Jamaican food. It's so good. And I got a big cookie. Y'all saw. Got a big cookie from 787, which their rum infused coffee, if you ever make it, they have a couple locations. Their rum infused coffee, game changing. So good. So delicious. I'm about to eat my food, wind down, get a little bit of editing done. I think that we're just going to shop tomorrow for most of the day and then attend the very last show for the actual MS like main show that they have for Saturday night. Like all that kind of stuff. I think there's another designer who's got some pieces, of black-owned designer who's having a pop-up through the 9th. So I'm going to map all of that kind of stuff out tonight so I can be effective. Because there's also a cute little brunch spot also around the corner. I feel like that's the other thing I love is just the walkability of New York. Like literally I can go up 2 to 3, 4 blocks, especially here in Soho. But I felt this way when I stayed in Chelsea as well last season, was just like, I can go a couple of blocks, I'm going to find a good coffee spot, I'm going to find a really dope store. And like that was kind of the realization. I was like, this is why New York girlies have more zest naturally. The accessibility to stuff is crazy. Like, we're driving and I'm just like, I've never heard of that designer a day in my life. I've never heard of that store a day in my life. And it's like, you can literally go to 20 different boroughs. Ooh. You can literally go to all the different boroughs, and there's so many different designers and so much access. And then on top of that, like sample sales on sample sales on sample sales. So at some point, if you're patient, all the pieces at these designers, they go on sale and you can get it for the low. Like, this is us. I'm peeping game. Because like, de toi, I love us. I love us. But we do not have the designer stuff at that level quite yet, where it's like, again, we just have even local designers with their locations for us to just go in and try on the pieces. And then, you know what I mean? Like, if they have a sample sale, like, it makes sense. It is now making sense why the New York girlies be having just, again, so much style and so much flair, because anything goes here. I saw a girl with jeans that had teddy bears across the front. Anything goes here. No one's gonna look at you crazy. And then you literally, like I said, just have access all within like 30 minutes. Like, if you can't find it in Soho, you can go try out in like the meatpacking district. If you can't find it in the meatpacking district, you can go try Brooklyn. Like, you're gonna be able to find it here. And I feel like I'm very envious of that, because I'm like, dang, like, I do want more unique pieces. I do want, as much as I love ASOS and H&M, and they're still gonna be in my sphere, I do want more brands that just feel like they're giving back on a more intentional level. And I think that is a lot easier to find here on a regular basis than I would say like other places. So I'm just loving it. So I do want to do some actual shopping like we did last time and do some stores, like I said, that we don't really have access to even online. Well, I'm not gonna say that because again, like A Goldie and stuff in frame I can get online, and if you having a sample sale, I'm gonna try it. So I do want to kind of not overwhelm myself and actually rest because we were also up at 7 a.m. trying to like capture some content, get all the footage. I think that's another thing the girlies kind of hint on, but like it truly is a marathon. Like you are up, you are getting your makeup, you're gonna try and shoot your fit before you go to the show. And then like you might change into another outfit and then shoot that fit and also like be recording that fit and then you gotta post at the events. Like it's there's a reason this is legitimately a job, y'all. Like if you ever thought that we just went and took selfies, like truly seeing behind the scenes. I hope this enlightens like what it's like. It's like, dude, like you gotta pose for like 20, 30 different cameras, make sure you get all the angles, like, and a couple of photographers might want more specific photos with you. And then as you're going from show to show to show, making sure you're sharing at the shows, making sure the fit's on point, and then tagging the brands, like it's work. It is work. Like some people have 4 or 5 shows in a day and then parties to go to and then gotta be up the next morning. So like I'm going to cherish the fact that I have an open schedule tomorrow. I'm gonna sleep me in, grab me a good brunch, and then decide if we're gonna go and see evening gowns or not. So let me get showered off, y'all, because again, I'm outside and I'm gonna eat and we're gonna catch up in the morning. It is the third and final day, my most exciting day. There is a sample sale literally like around the corner from where I am staying. The Doc Martens, I'm cracking up. So one of the things you'll have to pay attention to when it comes to the pop-ups is the location changes. So yesterday, Doc Martens was really close to where I was staying, but today it's actually back out by the show location that I'm going to be at later today. So I'm trying to figure that one out because my show is not until 7, but the pop-up ends at 5. And I know, like, I'm sure the line's going to be crazy because a lot of the free things, the lines are generally pretty hectic. So I'm debating because me and Gabrielle are also going to meet up again today, probably shoot really, really quickly, get some fits, and then walk around, shop around because I know she was wanting to do shopping in Soho and I was wanting to do shopping in Soho. I just love that, like, I suddenly have a new road dog. Like her and her mom have been so sweet. And I'm like, again, so grateful because literally this happened the second time, y'all, where I am about to leave and I get a message from one of my friends like, hey, yo, come to the show. I'm going to put you on the list. And I'm like, I'm leaving. I'm leaving. But again, it just reaffirms a lot. So I'm just really grateful. So I'm not putting any pressure on today in terms of like the daytime and what we're gonna do because I really just want to organically explore, right? Like like I said, the pop-ups seem cool, but waiting in the line for 2 hours, it's cold outside. Like I think I would rather actually see some stores I don't have in the D and like figure out if I really want to find some vintage places. Like y'all saw the vintage pop-up they had right next to the show location yesterday. It was so dope, so cool. They had some really great finds and the hair was just mostly men's things. Which I'm not, again, y'all know I shop the men's section, so that's not like the issue, but I do want to find just a little bit more variety there. I think that would be so fun. And then heading, like I said, to the show, I do need to pack up a little bit at some point because y'all, my flight is at 6 because my flexology class, my yoga class is at 3. And that was the only flight I could find that wasn't going to have like a 2-hour layover in some random state to get me home in time. So literally I got to get up and be like out of here by 3:30 at the latest, to make it to the airport so I can make sure my bag is checked. Y'all. The things, again, like the girls who live in the city, I'm so envious. Like they have their whole closets. They're able to just kind of like come and go and hop on the subway and stuff. But like coming from out of town, like you really do need to have a plan. You really need to have a strategy. Like because there's also last minute things you'll get invited to, and it's like, okay, did I bring the right fit for that? So I'm proud of myself because I did overpack by 2 fits. I didn't bring like a night event fit, like a dress or something like that. But it's also again cold. Like, I'm gonna be honest. So I was really more focused making sure I had enough jackets than like gowns and things like that. But again, looking at the other girlies, I'm like, you'll have to have 3 suitcases because it's not making sense otherwise. I'm gonna be so honest. So yeah, I hope you're enjoying New York Fashion Week so far. Like I said, this behind the scenes, especially as a smaller creator, because the bigger creators, like I said, it's like they're kind of ingrained. They're already used to like their flow, so of course it looks so effortless. So I hope this insight's like super helpful for y'all as it is. Like I said, for me, I definitely feel like these are more of a brain dump, like the trips are, because it's kind of like I'm processing in real time and then trying to figure out what's like the most useful to share for you, whether you're just watching to tag along, like seeing all the shows, because y'all, some of the shows are so good. They're so good. So I'm really excited for tonight. Or you are a creator like myself and you're trying to navigate this space and figure it all out. So yeah, I think that's Gabrielle texting me. So yeah, quickly getting into just like the casual fit for today. I have the Zara plaid jacket y'all saw from the try on, looking so good with my H&M cropped button up underneath, and then I just safety pinned it to give this like fun tucked effect so that you could see the detailing on the Fashion Nova. As you're seeing, like between this fit and the fit for later, I'm feeling very preppy-ish, but like fun preppy. So then I also have the ASOS boots as well. I'm probably gonna actually change into my dunks to walk around because I got the heel pictures. So I feel like everything else will just be kind of cute, casual, like day in the city vibes. I am gonna bring, even though it doesn't go with the fit, the actual burgundy bag. In the outfits, you're gonna see the brand in Blackwood, but the burgundy bag's just gonna fit all of my stuff. I don't have a big oversized black bag. After this trip, absolutely will be investing in one because I knew I needed one, but like, yeah, this was the sign, like, baby girl, just go ahead and do that. Just go ahead and do that. So let me put my sneakers on and we gonna meet up with Gabrielle and get shopping around Soho. How are you today? Your pieces are gorgeous. Good. The hats. It's that love. Oh my God. I'm gonna touch it.
Our style is soap.
Yes.
And it's in multiple styles too. So everything's thoughtfully engineered. And we make everything from sustainable leather or recycled plastic.
We
which is
love
plastic
this.
bottles.
Okay.
So with this,
I need y'all to see this. Like, look. God. I could only stand to have a place to wear this. Okay, but y'all also have to see this. Look at that. That is so pretty. Ah, they're so cute. I'm obsessed. Well, that's really thin. I'm surprised. The day just got away from me, y'all. We had so much good shopping. Again, met up with Gabrielle, and she was such a sweetheart. Her and her mom, we just looked at all the different stores. As you saw, we got to see some amazing pop-ups. I'm literally already saving my coins for this bag. And then this jacket, yeah, I'm gonna link it down below. Like, so good. And then there was just a couple of like vintage shops we got to look at. The Real, which of course we don't have in the D. We don't have that in the D. So shopping around, just looking at all the things. Essential Antwerp, I got to try on this jacket. Also, I finally got to try on a pair of jeans from COS, which I have thoughts, but that's for another day. And then getting into what I wore to the shows, I wore this gorgeous red jacket from Nocturne. So good. It's so good, right? And then with the Alice and Olivia pants, with the ASOS heels, and I'm glad I did that because as y'all saw, it ended with snow. It ended with snow. The shows were so beautiful. I feel like I have a couple of thoughts. I do have a couple of thoughts. If you are someone who is not had any formal, has done no research on just like fashion and the industry and the construction of garments, I don't mind like people not liking style. I don't mind people not liking, the piece, the designs. Obviously not every design is for every person. But if you get the honor to be invited to anybody's show, y'all can hold your laughter and stuff until you outside, respectfully. Like, because I often think about, again, if it were me, like if I was up there and I put so much work into the pieces, knowing that like this is a big moment for me, for some of the models, y'all, like a lot of these designers, what I loved about this, for a lot of the people, like, where's the inclusivity? It's not on the main designers, but these other emerging designers, international designers, they are inclusive as hell. Like, there was this jewelry brand that was with Indian women. All of them were not skinny. None of them were under size 6, like under size 4. That was intentional. There was this designer, and he had his black designs intentionally on black women, intentionally on women of color of different sizes, on black women looking beautiful and regal. And I think that's where I feel like, again, if we stopped only focusing on the big Eurocentric brands and how they've done it, and of course they've got the budgets to do it this crazy, amazing way, right? And we actually started looking at all the emerging designers and looking at the pieces along with the potential. It is so much more diverse. There is so much more inclusivity. You need to stop being like, oh, okay, Alice and Olivia. Oh, okay, Gucci. Oh, okay. Y'all need to be the ones that give it to us when these other designers are trying really hard. Like designers from other countries, designers from the US who are of color, who are women, who are men, who are of different ethnicities, of different cultures. Battery almost died, but they are trying to do that for us. You know what I mean? And like, again, I'm not saying you need to love all the designs. I'm not saying you need to hype up every designer. We're all going to have our own independent style. That's what's so great about it. But look outside of just the Eurocentric brands, especially with this being such an amazing opportunity for international designers who don't normally get recognized at Fashion Week, because we're all looking at Eurocentric designers and white designers, right? I think that this is very important for emerging designers who, again, are getting passed over for the same brands we see every single year. And I feel so honored to be in those spaces that, like, even if something isn't my style and I don't like it, I'm still going to give my attention. I'm going to look at it and just trying to show appreciation, because the work that goes into a lot of it, especially couture, like that's not something I see myself wearing, but the beadwork, the amount of man hours alone that is. Because it does make me kind of understand why they want to gatekeep the fashion industry. And I don't want it to be ruined for those of us who really can appreciate it, but also know like what's for us and what's for not. Like just have a little decorum. But y'all, it is late. My flight is at 6, which means I have to get up by 3, be at the airport by 4. So we're going to end it here. Thank you so much. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe, and let's hang out even more in this playlist, okay, with my other vlogs. So thank you again, and I'll see you over there.